Good morning, everyone. In chapter 1, yesterday we discussed about nutrition in plants. We have studied about the two modes of nutrition in brief. One is autotrophic mode of nutrition, and second one was heterotropic mode of nutrition. In autotrophic mode of nutrition, auto means self, trop means nutrients, okay, self prepared. Then in heterotropic, they will depend upon the other for their food. And we also discussed about the process of photosynthesis, how it takes place, special cases of photosynthesis we discussed yesterday. And in today's class, we will start our discussion with heterotropic nutrition in plants. In detail, we will study about this today. Okay, we will start with amazing facts. Rafflesia is a parasitic plant that bears world largest flower. The amazing fact or the amazing parameter about this is it is having diameter up to 1 meter and its weight is up to 10 kilograms. Very strange to know and interesting to know also. So keep this word in your mind, Rafflesia. Okay. So it will be interesting to know about more parasitic plants as well as about the heterotropic mode of nutrition. We know this fact that some of the plants are not having chlorophyll and they cannot photosynthesize. Some plants grow in the places that do not receive enough sunlight or spoil lacks some important nutrients. Such plants depend on other organisms for their nutrition and are called heterotrophic plants. Main types of heterotrophic plants are parasitic, saprophytic, insectivorous, and symbiotic. We will study about all of them one by one. Okay. Parasitic plants, a plant that partially or completely depend upon another plant for nutrition is called parasitic plant. Got it? Either it will depend partially or completely on other plants for their food. They are called parasitic plants. The plant from which the parasitic plants derive nutrients is called the host. Okay. The most of the nutrition in parasitic plants is called the parasitic nutrients. Roots in parasitic plants are modified to penetrate into the stem or root of the host plants. Okay, these roots help the parasitic plants to absorb the food stored in the roots or the stem of the host plant. But you can understand this by in simple manners. If someone will come to your house, okay, you are the host and he or she will be a parasitic that will depend upon partially as well as completely for their food on you. Okay, and same is the case with the plants also. Those will depend upon other plants for their food or nutrition are called parasitic plants. The parasitic plants always harms the host by depriving the host valuable nutrients. Okay, however, the host plants are rarely killed in a parasitic relationship. Okay, if some guest will come to your house during these lockdown periods, you are having a limited amount of food at your home, and that will definitely harm you. It can degrade or decrease the duration of food for yourself. Okay, plants can be two types, complete parasite and partial parasite. Okay, in heterotrophic mode of nutrition we are studying parasitic plants and they can be classified into two types, that is complete parasite and partial parasite. Got it? Okay, complete parasites, those will completely depend on others for their food. and partial will be in parts or in some percentage, they will depend upon others. Parasitic plants that completely depend on host plants for their survival are called complete parasites. These plants do not have chlorophyll and cannot prepare their own food. Cascata, Doders are examples of complete parasite. Okay, it has special root-like structures, hosteria called hostia, singular hosterium. Okay, that grows into tissues of the host plants and draw nutrients and water. Daughter plants you can see over there. Okay, they are complete parasite. And now partial parasite. Parasitic plants that do not depend completely on host plant for their survival are called partial parasites. These plants usually have chlorophyll and therefore can prepare their own food by photosynthesis. However, these plants depend on other plants for minerals and waters. Mistletoe is a partial parasite as it has chlorophyll. Mistletoe can therefore make its own food by photosynthesis, but it depends on the host plant for water and minerals. You can see. Okay, got it? Got it, dear students? And I think you will be able to differentiate between the partial parasite and complete parasite also, and with their examples. Second is saprophytic plants. We have studied about parasitic in the first category of heterotrophic plants. Now saprophytic, a plant that obtains its nutrition from dead and decaying plants and animal matter is called saprophytic plants. The mode of nutrition in saprophytic plants is called saprophytic nutrition. Saprophytic plants are usually non-green, have no leaves. Okay, you can easily find out these kind of plants by just seeing them. However, some plants bear bright flowers. These plants often grow in shady areas. Indian pipe is an example of that. You can see in figure 1.11, and coral root is another examples you can see in figure 1.12. Okay, are saprophytic plants. The roots of saprophytic plants contain organism called fungi. Fungi secrete some digestive juices on dead and decaying plants and animal matters and solution convert it into solution. The nutrients present in the solutions are then used by the saprophytic plants. Got it? Saprotrophs or saprotropic, the plants, those are living or surviving on dead animals or decaying of plants. They are called saprotrophs, and the method is called saprotropic nutrition. Fungi that were earlier considered as saprotropic plants belong to a different category of organisms. These are neither plants nor animals. Yeast, molds, and mushroom are examples of fungi. Got it? Fungi are saprotropic organisms that grow in warm and moist places and obtain their nutrition from dead and decaying organisms. Got it, dear students? Let's move further. Next is insectivorous plants. They will trap or they will capture insects for their food. Plant that obtain nutrients by trapping and digesting insects are called insectivorous plants. These plants have chlorophyll in their leaves and therefore can make their own food by the photosynthesis process. Insectivorous, basically they will trap the insects. The lid is open over there and the peacher plant is an example of that. They will trap the insects and then it the lid got closed, and that insects will be digested by the food by the plant. Okay, you can see. But these plants grow in the places where soil lacks in certain nutrients such as nitrogen. So leaves of these plants are modified to trap and kill small insects and digest them to obtain protein, nitrogenous compound. For their growth, these plants are also called carnivorous plants. For example, peacher plant is an example of that. Venus flytrap, sundew are other examples of carnivorous plants. The leaves of a peacher plant are modified into peacher-like structures to trap insects. Like structures to trap insects. The tip of the leaf is modified into a lid that can close and open. The mouth of the pitcher, the inner walls of the pitchers have downward directing hair-like structures to entacle the insects. The fluid containing many digestive juices is present at the bottom of the pitcher. These juices digest the proteins present in the insect's body. Okay, the leaves of a flytrap plants are modified to trap insects. Okay, the entire leaf is divided into two parts or patches such that the midrib forms a hinge. Okay, form the hinge, and the leaves have short stiff hair like projections on the edges. When an insect touches the hair on or sits on the leaf, it snaps shut within seconds, trapping the insects inside. The trapped insects is then killed and digested. Very much strange things to know. Very interesting thing about the Venus flytrap is, okay, sundew is another example of insectivorous plants. Let's see. Sundew plant has long like structures called tentacles covered with a sticky substance called muki leg. Okay, muki leg you can see. Okay, the tentacle then fold inward and wrap around the insects. The wrap insects is then digested. Wow, very interesting to know about insectivorous plants. First we studied about peacher plant over there. The peacher captured the traps and got closed over there. Venus flytrap we studied, and the third is sundew plant we studied over there. Very much interesting to know about insective. They feed on insects, captured them, kill them, and then they digest them. Symbiotic plants, next type of next or last type of our discussions topic for today, in heterotrophic mode of nutrition. Symbiotic, investigate how a symbiotic association is different from a parasitic association in plants. Discuss the same with your friends and classmates. Okay, let's start. Plants that live in a mutual relationship with other organisms, such as both share nutrients and other resources, are called symbiotic plants, and the relation is called symbiosis. Okay, in symbiotic relationship, both organisms gain from each other without causing any harm, to each other, either of them. Okay, lichen you can see in figure 1.16, the first example of symbiotic association between algae and fungi. Okay, the autotrophic algae provide nutrients to the saprotrophic fungi. Okay, now one thing we came to know, algae is an example of autotrophic and fungi is saprotrophic. Got it? In turn, fungi provide water and minerals and shelter to the algae. Okay, so both will be benefited and both will grow together without harming to one another. Okay. Now the bacteria rhizobium have symbiotic relationship with the leguminous plant, such as both the organisms benefit. The rhizobium live in the root nodules of leguminous plant such as peas and beans. The bacteria help to convert atmospheric nitrogen into ammonia, which is eventually converted into nitrates, and the leguminous plants uses these nitrates as source of nitrogen and returns provides food and shelter to the bacteria. Okay, the interesting thing about rhizobium is it helps to convert the atmospheric nitrogen into the soluble nitrogen for the plants, leguminous plants. We all know that the nitrogen is present in abundant in the atmosphere. It is around 78.9%. Still, it we human being and plants cannot take it directly from the atmosphere. It is got converted. It is got converted and then it is utilized in soluble form by the plants, and then from plants a human being also utilizes this. Okay, in this way the atmospheric nitrogen is got converted by the rhizobium in leguminous plants, rhizobium the bacteria in leguminous plants, and then it is be usable for plants as well as for human beings also. Let's check out what we learned till now. Match the following. We have studied this. We have studied this, how we will match with each other. Mistletoe. Okay, find out the relationship. Lichen, peacher plant, coral root, cascata. What we studied today, we can easily match each other. Okay. Okay, dear students, let's match the following. Mistletoe, it will be a partial parasite. First with D we will match out. Okay, lichen will be symbiotic, so second will be A matched with A. Third, peacher plant will be insectivorous, so third will be matched with E. Third will be matched with E. And fourth, coral root will be saprophytic. Fourth will be matched with B. Got it? Fourth will be matched with B. And now the cascata, it is complete parasite. Fifth with C. Got it, dear students? Okay. Okay, dear students, let's complete this matching. First with first will be matched with D. Second will be matched with second will be matched with first will be matched with D. Second will be matched with B. Okay. Third will be matched with E. Fourth will be matched with B. Okay. Second will be matched with A, not with B. Okay. First D, second A, third E, fourth B. Okay. And last is with C. Last with C. Got it? Okay. Now replacement of nutrients in soil. How nutrients. Okay, we will start the last topic of this chapter, replenishing nutrition in the soil. Plants use nutrients such as nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium from the soil. So, over a long period of time, soil becomes deficient of these nutrients. Therefore, the soil needs to be replenished with these nutrients from time to time. Manures and fertilizers are rich in plant nutrients and are used by the farmers to enrich the soil. Leguminous plants such as peas, gram, and beans have root nodules in which nitrogen fixing bacteria called rhizobium will live. Okay, these bacteria can take atmospheric nitrogen and convert it into soluble form that is readily absorbed by the plants. This symbiotic relationship between leguminous plants and rhizobium bacteria help in help in replenishing the soil with the nitrogen naturally, thus growing leguminous plant alternatively with other crops restores the nitrogen content of the soil. As I discussed the same with you a moment ago also, the plants as well as human beings cannot directly absorb the nitrogen from the atmosphere. It is got first converted into soluble form by the rhizobium bacteria, then plants will utilize this, and then after utilization plants human beings also utilize the nitrogen in the same form. Got it, dear students? So this is the concept mapping. Okay, we starts with we will recapitulate basically in this nutrition in plants. Two modes of nutrition were over there: autotrophic and heterotropic nutrition requirements. uh, in autotrophic, we studied about photosynthesis. The requirements were carbon dioxide, water, sunlight, and chlorophyll for the photosynthesis to take place. In heterotropic, we again studied about the four processes: parasitic plants, insectivorous plants, saprophytic plants, and in the last, symbiotic plants. Okay, this is the second segment we studied today: heterotropic mode of nutrition, and autotropic we did yesterday. Okay, in the last topic we studied about the replacement of the nutrients in the soil. Got it, dear students? These are some keywords you can easily remember them. Okay, so dear students, tomorrow I will assign you the homework for today is you have to complete the exercise of this chapter in your notebook. And one thing you need to keep in your mind, you need to do MCQs, 1 mark questions, one word or one sentence questions, and answer in brief and answer in detail only in your notebook. Got it? Got it, dear students? So till then, bye bye, dear students. Take care.